What's up, Transformers fans? Mondo here, back with a Moonbase 84 transmission, and today we are going to do the long overdue Transformers Then and Now for Sunstreaker. But as always, before we get into the video, if you could hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and all that jazz, I would really appreciate it. So spinning on your display base, what we have here are two very sleek, sexy imports with turbo handling. Imports, that is, if you don't live in Italy. And of course they are the G1 Lamborghini Countach Sunstreaker and the Sunstreaker from the Autobots United 5-pack. And we know that Transformers have tended to become smaller and smaller over the years, but as you can see here, not the case with the original G1 opposed to the newest Legacy United, Autobots United, whatever, 5-pack Sunstreaker. But first we will take a closer look at the G1. And mine is still in pretty decent shape. Of course, you're going to have some dings and nicks because of its age. But a really awesome Sunstreaker. Very topical lately because of the missing link, which I'm super excited for. Some of the a lot of the decals are missing on mine. Hopefully some toy hacks will remedy that once the whatever postal strike in Canada is over, because I went to order some toy hacks and the shipping is outrageous and I wasn't about to pay those prices. But yeah, really nice, really cool G1 Sunstreaker as we've come to know and love. I do have some chrome wear. Of course, he has some die cast parts on the hood and a very clean car mode all around, even the underneath. And of course, here is the newest one, the Legacy United. Again, a nice Sunstreaker, just, you know, in a different aesthetic, the modern aesthetic, for design and things. We've got the nice blue painted windshield and sides. Some nice details in here. You've got the engine, just like the turbo engine or whatever you want to call it, exhaust, just like the original. No spoiler. You have the gun here, weapon storage. And I like that they actually painted the tires, or the rims I should say. Clean on the bottom, but you can say hi to Sunstreaker. I believe there is an upgrade kit you can get for this that gives him a spoiler. Maybe I'll look into that, because if you've been watching the channel long enough, you do know that Sunstreaker is one of my favorite Transformers characters. Not my favorite. We're going to be talking about my absolute favorite very soon, but he is right up there. So really cool. Both of them really awesome and nice looking alt modes. Now, as I always do, I will get these guys transformed up and we will check out the robot modes. And here are the G1 and the Legacy Sunstreakers spinning for your pleasure, for you to admire them. He wouldn't want it any other way. And we will take a closer look at each one and compare them a little bit. And here is G1 Sunstreaker. And when I see this G1 Sunstreaker, the nostalgia of being a kid comes flooding back. He was my first, I believe, I have trouble remembering if it was him or Soundwave, but I believe it was Sunstreaker, was my first what I call big Transformer. Before that, I had a few mini bots and Laserbeak and Rumble Frenzy, or whatever one you want to call him. For red or blue, I call it Blue Rumble, but anyway. So I believe he was my first big one, then Soundwave. So that's why I love this guy. One of the reasons I love him so much, I also loved him in the cartoon. What we saw of him, a couple episodes that spotlighted him a little bit with his brother, Sideswipe. But yeah, pure nostalgia. And he just looks awesome to this day. Again, I apologize, I do not have the proper stickers on him, but you see the gist of what he was. I have a hair on him that I can't get off, and I don't like picking at it with the chrome, because the chrome is a little worn, again, due to age. You can see some yellowing around here, around the exhaust and on the spoiler. And he still holds up pretty well for his age. I mean, he is a little rickety, he is a little flimsy, you know, but that's to be expected. But yeah, cool 80s style robot. And I believe, from what I understand, is that he was the first in the Diaclone line to transform into a robot. I believe that is accurate. And this I think he was a different color, but anyway, and that's what of course led to the Transformers, the Diaclone line. But yeah, he looks really cool. And it's funny because when people complain about parts forming, Transformers have been parts formers since the beginning. Like on Sunstreaker here, these pieces come off and you add them, and then his fists come off, they can shoot, or his missile can shoot. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to lose them. And you can actually give him another missile, so he's dual wielding his missiles, or you can give him 2 fists. Because of the cartoon, I don't really care for him with having a missile in his hand because I always picture him with fists. The only problem is with the toy, if you do that, then he doesn't have a weapon because he doesn't come with a gun. But yeah, I always picture Sunstreaker because of the cartoon again with the fist. And this plugs in loosely on mine, but if you plug it, and I can't remember how to do it, but if you plug it in this way, it's tight. So maybe it is supposed to go this way, just so it's tighter. It doesn't look as good. I think it looks shaky, old. I think it looks better like that, but again, it's not really secure. So we'll put it here to make it more secure. And that one doesn't even go in all the way. So weird. But anyway, and then again, the back is pretty clean. Of course, not much in the way of articulation. My copy of this piece, as you saw in car mode, is a little loose, so it doesn't like to stay in. And I don't want to force it any. Oh, there we go. I get nervous with the older toys, messing with them too much, because of course I don't want them to break. You see some nice detail in his legs, some robotic detail. Cool, nostalgic head. Just, I love this figure, and I always will. And articulation, I guess, he can swing like that, and his arms do move like that, and that's about it. Oh, and because his wrists are plugged in, they can go like that. But of course, the G1 toys weren't very articulated, and that's okay for what they are. And here is the Legacy Autobots Stand, Autobots United from the 5-pack with the Earth Mode Hound. The basically reissue of, what was it, the Netflix Sunstreaker, Earthrise Sunstreaker, whatever it was. But yeah, looking fantastic in his own right. Of course, he is a bit more cartoon accurate, and I love that head sculpt on him. Really cool, really Sunstreaker-esque. And again, I love how the blue, because it's painted and not clear plastic, and I think that really pops, and it gives it that cartoon vibe. I'm still on the fence. I know people don't like clear plastic, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but when it comes to look for windshields and stuff, I still can't decide if I'd rather have the clear plastic for the windshield or the paint. I mean, I don't hate either one, but sometimes I think for a modern figure, the clear windscreen, maybe if they, instead of making this whole piece clear plastic like they normally would, they just do an insert. But the blue, I don't know, I'm starting to lean more towards the blue. Of course, you get the Autobot symbol there because it's not a sticker, and it's nice and clean. And you get, and I love how like this totally evokes, you know, it's got a lot of the same aesthetic as the original toy. It's got that detail here on the legs, more in the sculpt, you know, more detail because modern figure. And he comes with his blaster, and I like how the his shoulders on top mimic, you can't see his shoulders, so that's pretty cool. And this piece is also removable, but I store it on the back to give it that exhaust look that you have on the G1, but you can also take it off and use it as a weapon, which I will never do. But you can do so if you want to, like that. It's a silly looking weapon anyway, in my opinion. And putting it on his back like this makes Sunstreaker look more like Sunstreaker. Thing I will say about Sunstreaker, unfortunately, for those that really hate it, and I do think it's kind of ugly in this copy, pretty hollow all around all the inner leg, so that is kind of a shame. And in the forearm, I still like him, but yeah, just hollowness doesn't always really bother me per se, but when it's ugly hollow everywhere, it does. Like, that is ugly hollow to me. I mean, they do try to put a little detail in there, but yeah, that's a little bit of a shame. And I love how the transformation for him is kind of a little bit, it's in a lot of ways it's an updated transformation of him like the arms kind of, they fold up to make the back. These fold and rotate into his back, so kind of like reminiscent, but not the same by any means. But really cool. And of course, being a modern figure, he has all the modern articulation. I won't go through it all the way, but you know, he's got all the bells and whistles that we'd come to expect from modern figures. You know, like the legs, the elbows, things like that. And to wrap up this Transformers Then and Now for Sunstreaker, I thought it'd be appropriate to finish up with them spinning around on this base for everybody to marvel at their beauty, because Sunstreaker, as we know, wouldn't want it any other way. So make sure you drop a like, drop a comment to compliment how glorious he looks and how beautiful his paint job is. And as always, thanks for docking.